Yo, what's up boys? So we're back here at Custom Coatings and today is finally the day that we're going to paint the inside of the Sylvia. So over the last 2 weekends I came in and just tidied up the interior but fully stripped everything out, like literally everything. Seat rails which were bolted under the car. I had to wire brush like heaps of tape residue off the inside of the car because there's a lot of holes in the inside, you know, from the factory. That usually is covered up by sound deadening and carpet that just isn't there. So I spent like a good 10 hours on the interior, and then today Grant and the boys did a mean job working all day. They fucking sanded the shit out of it, got pretty much all the paint out, and apparently it's a real cunt because the guy that painted it before apparently didn't do a great job. I don't know, we'll let Grant explain that later, but yeah, super stoked to get into the painting today, so let's go see Grant.
So this, like I was saying before, has been actually the biggest catastrophe that I've in terms of delaminating paint. No, that's like if you're gonna make sure you don't fuck out at one level as a painter, is that the paint that you put on never fails. Like it's called delamination, where it delaminates from the substrate. Anyways, all of this paint fucking delaminated in the worst possible place, bro. Look at what we're dealing with. You know, so as soon as we put the air gun to it, it just blew everything off, and then what remained we just hit with the sander to feather the edges out as best as possible, all the way through to the boot. Oh, it's just it was a mess. It was like, it's not right, bro. Like you never ever like, I mean, I don't dislike a lot of people, but not even on my worst enemy would I do this, bro. This is the fucking... So here we are now, we're gonna save it. So everything has been scotched and degreased and feathered, and you know, as thoroughly as we can possibly do with what we have to work with. So what I'm about to go next is I'm gonna use I like using wash primer, which is gonna act as an adhesion promoter for us in this way that we're gonna use it. Just because, again, it's tricky, you can't always sand everything the way that you want it to, so where you can't use mechanical adhesion, you know, you use the next one, which is chemical adhesion, and then from there, you're on your own. So we're gonna go with wash primer first, then we're gonna go with Envirolock as a ground coat, and then we're gonna go base coat and clear coat. So fuck, I'll be here till 4 o'clock tomorrow morning painting this. But yeah, let's get into it.
It's a few days later now. The inside of the car is all finished. We didn't manage to get Grant doing the clear coat on camera because it got pretty late. I think we were here until like 10 p.m. that night. But yeah, just came back and started taking all the tape off the car, and it looks super mint. So clear coat is on now. It's kind of hard to see because this sun is so vicious, but inside of the car is looking amazing. Just finishing taking off all the tape and getting it all set up. We're going to put the interior back in today, and we also might start on the fenders as well. So yeah, super happy. This is just so much better. You know, it's not like perfect. There's still, you know, a few little bits in here and there, but I mean, for what he had to work with, Grant did a sick job.
For all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes, who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club, sipping my wet is where you find me. The back of the club, macking holes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting, but I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with.
It is looking fucking incredible. The flock came out really good. And we'll get Grant to talk more about the paint soon, but interior starting to come together. It's gonna look really nice. I think we're gonna paint this surround here, and then we'll have a bunch of, we'll have the AC controls here, but then we'll just have a few buttons here, just ignition, fans, blah blah blah, all that, and then digital dash there, so it'll be either fully manual or all digital. So pretty sick. I spent like the last 3 hours just taking off all the tape from in here, which was a fucking cunt. Super happy with the paint, so we'll get Grant to give his opinion on how the paint went, and
Oh, bro.
I don't know, and then we'll get on to these Fendies.
It was a fucking mission. Adhesion primer surfacer, in this case PPG Envirolock, and then Enviro base coat sprayed to simple G7 grey matte color, and then clear coat. So what we're gonna do here today, I've actually just Ben and I've just taken this opportunity to make a little bit of a video to explain the process, at least of what we use over here to go through the wide body installation. What I'm gonna do first is because we're just doing this side today, we'll jack the back up, put it on axle stands, get the wheels off, and then I'll mask out the rough cut line of where I plan on doing the cut, and then I'll separate this outer skin from the inner skin at this joint through here, and then we'll probably pull the shocks out as well and check where the, you know, where our maximum clearance is going to be gained from, you know, in where we have our cut line, because we may need to take more out, etc. And then when we get to the other side, which is also why I'm starting on this side, is because there's a fuel flap in this area on the other side, so I don't feel like dealing with that today. I'm just gonna go for a small win over here. All I'm hoping to achieve is to make the cuts, do any relief cuts or pie cuts as they're commonly known, and tack it up into its final position, and then I'll do the constant welds after that. So I'll tack this side up, then I'll start the other side, tack that side up, and then once I'm happy with everything, then we'll do the welds fully edge to edge, or end to end I should say.
Keep the F a secret, why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it, I got more Mac than Craig in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy. No need to be greedy, I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers, true fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over, tell your friends, jump in the GS3. I got the chronic by the tree.
The old Fender mocked up over here just to see, or double check rather, how high and how much I need to take out from the outside. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just use masking tape as a guideline of where I'm going to make this cut, and I'm going to try and keep everything nice and clean as possible so it doesn't look like a fucking monkey did it. Even though that is precisely the case, it mustn't look like that. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm only actually removing this outer skin now, so I'm going to do that cut line, the top one, and then there'll be another one through the middle here, so that will be sticking out. And then what I do is I'll put a few relief cuts in there, and then lift that up to the outer skin, put a tack weld, and then just do that all the way around until we have a new wheel opening basically, and then I can do the weld end to end.
Separate the weak from the opsa, make hard to creep them Brooklyn streets. It's all nigga, fuck all that bickering beef. I can hear sweat trickling down your cheek. Your heartbeat sound like Sasquatch's feet, thundering, shaking the concrete. Then the shit stop when I fall the plot. Neighbors call the cops and they heard mad shots. Saw me in the drop, 3 1/4, slaughter, electrical tape around the daughter. Old school, new school, need to learn though. I burn, baby, burn like disco inferno. Burn slow like blunts with yayo. Peel more skins than Idaho potato. Niggas IG, it ain't safe. I make your skin chafe. Rashes on the masses, bumps and bruises, blunts and Land Cruisers. Big Papa smash fools, bash fools. Niggas mad because I know the cash rules. Everything around me, 2 Glock 9s. Any motherfucker whispering about mines. And I'm Brooklyn's finest. You rewind this bad boy to hide.
I've tack welded all those tabs up to the outer skin, you know, sort of in place there now, and I've cut them off, all the excess metal. And now what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll fully weld all of those. I don't think I'm going to do that today, but what I'm also going to do now as part of the process is fit the over fender, just so we get an idea of where it's going to be finally situated. And then I'll screw that in, you know, wherever that is. Like, what the okay, here we go, we are on, bro. Let the fucking games begin. Another day, another wide body. Oh bro, I heard you do wide bodies. Who the fuck told you that? It's all screwed on now. Just gotta cut this lip off, because obviously we need more clearance for the wheel and tire setup, so we've got to do the other side, and then this car's gonna go off to have the wheels and all that type of stuff measured, so that it can have the meanest setup. Then we'll carry on the welding and all that type of thing, and we'll glue this over fender into its final position. And for that we'll just use a 3M panel bond, which is a two-part epoxy glue, which will permanently bond this to the original body panel. And once that is cured, then we'll make sure all the edges are nice and flush, you know, just make sure it looks really nice and clean and tight. And then the only bit we're not going to be able to save is where it goes across the C-pillar here. There we're just going to shape that edge nicely, you know. But you will see the step, and then this will just smooth into under the window, and you won't see it. She's in there.
Okay, so that is it. The wide body has officially begun. We got this fender on here. Like Grant said, just screwed on for now. Next week, Grant will, you know, finish everything up, get the other side done, get everything ready for certification. Then we're going to take it to Auto Stance, where they're going to measure the fenders for the wheels, so we can order our fat wheels, which are going to be, I'm not going to tell you guys what they are yet. I'll reveal it probably with the body of the car as well. But yeah, super exciting, like so much progress. I'm in love with this dash and how the dash looks. It's just incredible. It looks beautiful, just like a rally car or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below of the whole process. I've learned a lot today. It's been super fun. Thanks once again for Grant helping us out, and we'll see you next time.